Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Okay. Well, hour two.
Hour two. I love. Okay. Laurie Kilmartin, how's it going, hour two?
Fine.
You're looking forward to it?
I'm sore.
Are you?
Yeah, I was sore in the last podcast.
Right,
But I
because it's
thought
only
I'd
been an
wait.
hour to bring it up. I save things to bring up.
Okay, here's what I'm doing. I am susceptible to any sort of cream or non-surgical self-improvement. Right.
You're like, this might work.
So, yes. So my sister...
I did not know that you enjoyed topical.
A lot of
all right.
creams,
Yeah.
But my sister got this thing. She talked me into it. It's called the Fascia Blaster.
It's a fascia blast.
It'll start popping up on your Facebook ads once you hit 45. And it's a device. It's a metal rod. It's like a PVC pipe that's got 4 little claws on it, and you rub it really hard on parts of your body that you want to get rid of cellulite. But what it does is it loosens fascia that's bound together, so it makes you more supple and etc.
Bendy. I got a stiff knee. I could use the fascia blaster.
You might, yeah.
And if I have any, I could rub it on my ass too, because I don't look at my ass, but I'm sure there's some cellulite going on.
I don't want to think about that.
No one does.
But
certainly not me.
but there's a lot of before and after videos where you're like,
Are there?
Oh, this is amazing. So I got one. So I've been doing it really hard, and I'm in significant pain right now.
You're in some significant. Are you doing it on your thighs? Is that what
my
you do?
legs,
Your
my
legs?
stomach? Yeah,
In the hopes.
In the hopes. It's
and how long?
Covered in bruises.
Well, that's attractive.
If I listen, if I get murdered now,
right, you're going to confuse the autopsy.
yeah.
That's what's really going to happen.
You gotta make sure you date those bruises, and not that I want to give this murderer give him off or anything
Exactly.
like that. I mean, the guy killed me; he should be in prison. But you know what?
That
He may not have clawed my thighs.
right.
I might have done that myself.
That might have been self-inflicted. Right. Just look for the strangling.
Yeah.
And that'll be the only bruises that are real.
So I shot. Well, okay, I didn't completely shoot my wad on the last podcast.
No.
We always think of things, right?
Yeah, we always think of things.
I listened to this really good interview with Gloria Steinem on
yeah?
Fresh Air. Gloria Steinem is 82.
Awesome.
And she's still 100% there, with it. She's written
Why isn't
another
she
memoir.
your mom?
Oh my God.
Would that be so great?
I can't imagine being raised by her.
Yeah. Is she
I
sane?
would be so different. She's
I've never
totally
heard her.
sane.
I've never
she's
heard
really
her speak.
cool.
I've read some of her stuff, but old stuff.
She's really cool, and she talks about she's 82 and NPR lady. What's her name?
Terry Gross?
Yes. So
Yeah.
she played an interview that they did with her when she was 60, and her voice sounds almost exactly the same.
Right.
She doesn't even have an old person voice.
Right. Norman Lear does.
Yeah.
Norman Lear's got a little bit of that kind of like, oh, do you have dentures? Maybe.
Yes. He's 90 though, right?
94.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
gonna. I think. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
It'll happen. It's got nothing, and you get used to it, and you're fine.
Yes.
Because he's great.
Yeah.
It's a great
Oh,
book.
that reminds me. I read this other book, or listened to another book. I'll just go to this after.
Yeah.
Okay. But she talked about how when she turned 60, she's saying how 50 was when she finally figured herself out and finally got comfortable with herself.
That makes sense.
And I was so happy to hear that.
You're like, oh, any minute now. I'm going to really get my shit together. That's hilarious.
Like she had been living out of a suitcase her entire life because she grew up raised by parents that sort of drove around a lot. Like she wasn't in school. It was very
Weird.
like a gypsy tinker kind of life.
Were they entertainers or?
No, her dad was a salesman. It sounds like your dad with even less parenting skills.
Right. Wow, hard to believe. And
But so as a freelance writer, she kind of lived like a comic in a way. Where,
Yeah.
So all of her shit was in boxes, and when she was 50, she finally took stuff out of boxes
And decided
started
to have a home.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this my home. She didn't move. She was already in the place. She just made it something that she liked.
Wow. And she had sort of never done that?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was cool to hear.
Yeah, I love hearing right now I'm on board with the elderly talking to me, like.
Yeah, there's this other great book. This woman, she's a novelist and she wrote a memoir and she reads it. Her name's Penelope Lively.
Okay.
I forget the name of the memoir, but she goes back through all of her decades. She had a very interesting life, lived in Cairo, was raised, she's British. She's just very all over the place. And she feels elderly, but she said even in her 60s, she laughs at the fact that she thought she was old when she was in her 60s.
Yeah.
Like now I know what old is and stuff. But
Right.
it's really awesome to hear these very old people whose brains are still 100% there and they're still producing stuff kind of talk about
The old days.
the old days and what we feel like is the end of our lives as performers.
And they're
know what I
like,
mean?
no, you can still go for another 20 years.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
yeah.
That is interesting. And then it's weird that I've been listening to that Norman Lear thing. And then the other thing I did this week, because Gene Wilder died, is I watched Young Frankenstein with the commentary on with Mel Brooks.
Oh, cool.
And it was fascinating. Just
Yeah.
sort of him talking about what it was like on the set and all these different actors. And then the Norman Lear thing, he's talking about all the different actors in all of his different shows. He did Sanford and Son, which I forgot
about that.
because it was on a different network.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a spin-off or whatever. But yesterday, not today, just yesterday, when I was listening to the book, I thought I would like a reboot of Maude, and I would like to play Maude. That is what I would like, and because I could see myself being super bossy, and
I can too.
and heartfelt. Can you see that? Yeah, but it's been really. Here's my news, comedy-wise. I have a new website. My website guy redid my website so it not only looks fine on the computer, it actually works on the phone.
Oh, cool.
Right, because it's never really worked on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, and so do you think? I mean, a lot of people don't even have them really.
I don't
They
even,
just
they're almost, in a way, they don't seem necessary anymore.
Yeah.
They used to be, you had to have a website. You had to have your domain,
your
And
domain
now-
name and
Yeah, it's just like Twitter.
and Facebook and Instagram
it's strange how
Yeah.
unnecessary they became so quickly. I used to be addicted to my website. I would write like a journal. I called it This Week's Hoax. I wrote it every day for like 10 years, starting in like 96 to maybe 2000.
Is that still out there? The archives?
The
They
archives
have
are
to
up
be.
there.
Was it on like WordPress or Journal Space or whatever the blog?
I think I used to be a coder, Jackie.
Oh Jesus,
so
that's
I
right. You did it yourself.
Did it myself
Oh,
with
of course
text
you
edit
did.
or BB edit, depending on the decade we were in.
Dork. Yes.
Did
I
you
like
just
it.
lose
I did.
your right ear?
I did. I just lost my left ear.
But we're
I'm
okay.
back. So, you still seeing stuff, Aristotle? You still seeing waves? See, I know about sound things. Sure. It's
All right, look,
Yeah,
that's
but-
all my topics I had to talk about. I have nothing.
Let me finish telling you about my great new website that Vilmos did.
Okay.
He did a nice
Oh,
job.
Vilmos.
Yeah, Vilmos did it. You know
He used
Vilmos.
to- yeah. He's a comic.
Yeah.
Is he
And-
in Colorado still?
No, he's in Illinois. He's taking care of his mom, and he got married, so he's there, and he worked on my website, and then so it goes like the first one is just a picture of me, and then it scrolls, and my website used to be several videos, a bio, it was super kind of busy.
Yeah.
And then all the links to wherever you want to go, Snapchat or Tumblr or bullshit.
Yeah.
And now, so it's super clean looking where it's just a picture. You scroll up, you get an about, and then you get arrows going right and left. And then you go to the donation page in the Amazon banner. And then after that, there's a contact, there's a way to get in there's, like a Jackie Cation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, but the video page is the question one. I have all these videos, like the Conan videos.
Yeah.
And do people still do their acting reel on their website?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why are you asking me? I'm not.
You are a coder. That's why. I don't know why. Is it? Might be something.
I
Isn't
guess
that something?
so, but can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as interesting a story as I thought I'd say.
Well-
Everyone go to my website and give me some feedback that I may or
Do
may not give a
people
shit about.
donate money to you?
Yeah. Yeah. not a lot. People use the Amazon banner
Yeah.
which doesn't cost anybody anything. They use that more often.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
all they have to do is it's a portal to Amazon, and then
Yeah.
they order like normal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the Dork Forest gets a kickback. So that actually does more than regular donations, but people do donate, and they're very nice.
That's
and I
nice.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. And how about this? I was having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I said there are several good-looking comics who are
Yeah.
very funny,
Right.
who I hate
Yeah.
until they open their mouths.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, hey, handsome, what are you doing comedy for? Shut up. And then they open their pie hole.
You can only hope they were terribly abused as children to
Well,
make up for their
I
handsomeness.
don't think John Mulaney was. John Mulaney is, I'll name names, because John Mulaney is super handsome. And he he always sounds like he had a lovely upbringing.
Yeah.
And it's all worked out for him. And so I remember when I met him, and I am sorry to say this, John Mulaney, I met you, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And
I think everyone was like that because he was really good really quick.
he's really, really funny.
good really fast.
Yeah,
And
he's-
you didn't see him grow. You didn't see him fuck up at open mics.
Like, just fully
He
born.
Was almost born with 15 minutes and then added to it. And so I think everyone was like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
I
and-
did Best Week when I was on Best Week Ever. We did some tours together.
Yeah.
And he was the first person I didn't know him. I'd never heard of him.
Right.
And
I'd never heard of him.
yeah, and he was really great.
And he was really great. And I was
Yeah.
like, look at all handsome.
Yeah.
And then I was like, don't like him. Then he opened his joke hole. And I was like, oh, I don't care what he looks like. And which is exactly the opposite of the rest of humanity. I believe comics are entirely flippity flop. Because I usually think, oh,
I
look
think
at that
Jim
weird.
Norton is the classic, what a classic male comic should look like is Jim Norton.
It's, all of them, right? Like Doug Stanhope, James Inman, Jim Norton,
Yeah.
Augie Smith, all of that sort of.
Now you're hurting feelings.
Right and left. Remember Pardo? Pardo used to do this joke about going out for
I
auditions.
wouldn't list all those. I wouldn't put those guys in their physical shape as I would Jim Norton.
Well, no, Pardo used to do this bit about how he'd go out for auditions, and it
Yeah.
would just be a linear graph of a really bad-looking version of himself to a really good-looking version of himself. And you're like, oh, okay, that's what I look like. And that's that would be like when I go out for auditions, the rare and wonderful auditions, it's
Yeah.
never that because it turns out, I'm a minority. So when I go out for an audition, I'm usually with black men and sometimes black women, but and different body types than me. I usually go out as a some sort of as a minority role.
There's a role that's open, so open you don't have to define it by gender or race.
Yeah. Which is the only way. That's the only thing I ever get called in for. It's which. But if you think of the larger social, the importance of that is
Sure.
that's the only fucking thing that black guys are getting called in for, or
Right.
what black women, which is you're like, oh, you can play a nurse, excellent. Oh, you can play the
see.
receptionist
Right.
at a thing. Yes, I could, and hopefully I have good timing and you'll book me. But it hasn't happened this year, so never mind. Anyway, but that's what I go out for. So, but I love that spectrum of
Yeah.
So, but yes, there's just sort of normal people you look at and you think, oh, they're probably funny.
Well, I think your overall rage at good-looking people is to be applauded
and encouraged.
and emulated. I'm slowly trying to get tapes off of VHS. And
That's right,
put
you're
them on
digitizing.
Vimeo.
Yes.
VCR. I couldn't remember the name of the VCR. Two
That's
podcasts
right.
ago, called
That's
it
right.
a VHS player.
That's
oh
right.
my god!
I know it.
But I looked at there were some tapes, some sets I did at the Strip because did you ever work at the comic strip in New York?
Yeah, when Lucian was alive.
Yeah, so they had a VCR in the back, and you just popped your tape in right before you recorded your set. I have like hundreds.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
But I was like looking at, and it was right before. It was right when I got Tough Crowd, when I got the writing job,
Yeah.
and my confidence was up, and I was like really starting to push myself writing wise. But it was before I was a mother,
Okay.
and it was just like this really
super kind of straight
happy
stand-up.
period.
Your confidence was up. You didn't have a kid. It was a happy period that you look back on.
But I had like 15. I would say I have 12 pure minutes on rape.
Oh, really?
that I forgot about. Yeah.
Wow. Anything
Yeah.
in there? Anything in there that
I
you can
think
still
so.
use?
Like some of it might seem a little dated, but some of it
Rape jokes, they do age out real quick.
Yeah.
Quick. You're just like, oh, that's not how people are raping anymore. Oh, I get that.
Well, it's also any kind of topic like that.
Yeah.
Of the moment, when you can find the moment that the crowd is talking about, feeling that way, and you can really make an impact with the joke, right?
Yeah.
But then 5 years later, that's not how people are talking about
That's
it
right.
anymore.
That's right.
And it's really strange how some things I'm like, oh, to the wayside.
Yeah.
You know that.
It resonated at the time.
Yes.
Because that was how the dialogue went.
Yes, and that's
now
how
you
people
look
spoke.
at it. Right.
Right. I mean, in comedy, you're speaking how the audience speaks.
Yep.
You know, our language has changed as we've grown with the audience too. You know.
Yep.
So it's just weird how
It's weird how comedy can get dated. It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't even if it's just kind of been hacked to death.
you may have been the first person to do it, or one of the earlier ones,
Right.
And then everyone goes, "That's a good idea."
We're all going to talk.
I want a
about that
version
thing.
of that. Yeah. I think I had something like that.
Yeah.
You know. Where now, if I brought it back, it would be like, oh, that's been sort of done now.
Right. I remember the first ever Planet of the Apes joke I ever heard. It was Dana Gould.
Dana
in
Gould, yeah.
95,
Yeah.
96 maybe. And then everybody was doing Planet of the Apes jokes.
Yeah.
But his was so great. I'm so glad. I think it's on his that early album, which is great. Because when you are one of the early adopters of such a topic or a way of putting stuff, like Bill Hicks about porn.
Yeah.
To get it on tape. Yes, I recorded
Yeah,
this
I
in
did it
92.
first.
I did it first.
First, it's like
Yep.
the first comment. First.
Mine.
Yeah.
I did War Reenactment Guys. That was mine. So luckily, and now everybody after that, and I think about this. I never say it out loud, but I do embarrassedly think about how I was the first one doing War Reenactment Guy joke, and it was Revolutionary War Reenactment Guys, not Civil War
Wow.
reenactment. Yeah, I got some time in
Niche.
I got some free time in my brain box, just sitting around. So yeah,
I might put it up on YouTube just to date it. And it's dated because the MC check out on this new show called Tough Crowd, or she's writing for this new show.
Yeah.
It's like it's a timestamp. William
Right.
Stevenson was hosting. That's pretty.
do you know how to edit once the video is up? Do you have those chops?
I have iMovie, and I think I have so much shit on my computer. It's super slow. And,
Okay.
And things freeze, and then I'm like, fuck this. I
Yeah,
gotta write
screw
it. I gotta write about death anyway, and then I just don't get around to it.
Yeah, well, it's a great clock eater, though, for you not writing about death, though, I'm sure.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, projects.
I went to IKEA. I
Yeah.
like fixing up my son's room. I also there's a since my parents died, since I went through their house,
Yeah.
and it was just so awful. I've been just like, I want my house, I want wherever I am to be pretty. I don't want it to
Well, that's
be
neat.
pretty when the real estate agent gets to it and then we stage it. You know what I mean?
That's an excellent point.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to
live in the house. You don't want to.
When
You don't
it's
want to.
pretty.
Yes, yeah. So I got this gigantic painting at this. There's this antique store. It's not. It's on Magnolia in Burbank, but
Okay.
it's not an antique store. But there's a million antique stores
Yeah.
there, and it sells stuff that used to be on TV shows. Mm-hmm. And so,
Oh,
it's called Previously On.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I got this 6 foot by 5 foot painting. It's a print of a painting. It's abstract.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did they tell you what it was on?
They go, some pilot.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
I
well.
hope it's not some comics pilot that's at my house one day. What?
With John Mulaney. Aw, poor guy.
So he had a show in the air.
He had a show in the air, and it lasted until it didn't last. You
Yeah.
know, until I guess
That's
somebody.
a huge. I was thinking of Christella the other day.
Yeah.
Hold on for a sec. So
Okay.
anyway, so I just the guy, the reason I couldn't go to your comics brunch last weekend,
Right.
was that I had a TaskRabbit guy putting it up,
Oh,
and it looks really cool.
that's awesome.
yeah.
You know,
and it was
my-
like $199.
Oh, that's yeah.
It was on sale.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine whose house is. I'm jealous, and we went out to lunch, and her house is so beautiful. It's so fucking beautiful. She knows a guy who can do built-in shelves. And she's, I was like, for 12 years, I've lived in my house.
Yeah.
It was Andy's house, and then we married, and now it's half mine. Thanks. Anyway.
Up top, bitch.
Up top, up high. There you go.
Gonna divorce that guy.
Initially, yes, let me get half of that 966 square foot house. I was sweat equity when we married. But the crazy, we've always wanted to replace the kitchen floor, and we never have. And you have inspired me because I want to live in the house when the floor is nice.
You don't want to. You sell the house, then you spend,
you spend whatever
grand, money on it, so you get more money from it, and you're like, why didn't I live like this?
I want to live in this place like this. You know what? Yeah. So that's
do it.
Yeah, I'm living a sweet life, you guys. I know that it's a sweet life. So, but I want to
Yeah, me too.
I want to know
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. So, here's one thing I saw. There was a joke. There was a Trump joke, and Albert Brooks posted it. It was the Mexico thing. Remember?
Yeah, when he was in
Trump went to Mexico.
Yeah.
Albert Brooks, and then 1,000 other people posted a joke that said, "Let's build the wall now."
Oh yeah, right.
That was the joke, right? That was, and then there was a big flurry of "You stole that! You stole that! You stole that!"
Oh my god!
And
people, no,
not that joke. Not that. That is a perfectly sweet joke. It's a perfectly fine.
That's another version of who's going to build the wall.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a joke that if you're half of a comic, you can put that together. You can link that up.
Right. If you're just a walking around funny person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to get that one out first.
Right. Get it out. Call it a day. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you last week at Odd Block, 2 things. I worked with 2 women comics that were super funny.
Yeah.
It was Kathleen McGee and Amy Bugg. Her real name is Amy Bugg, Bugg. And Kathleen McGee, McGee. And they're both super funny, and they were really nice. And I got to be on, it was called Empower Hermint or something. That was, I'm doing it. I'm massacring. It's never a good idea, but I understand what you're doing. Whatever. I got to do stand up. Hooray.
I don't care what the show's called.
You call it whatever you want. I got to do my set.
Put me on.
Put me on. And then, but there was, for the Odd Block, there was a big theater, and then there was a pizza place that had a venue. Essentially, that had a space.
Yeah.
And then there was a taco shop that had a space. And then there was a board game store that had a space. And then there was a half a mile away or less a community center that had a space. So those were the 5 spaces. But the Odd Block is those 4. And I did a show with Dan Telfer and Todd Glass at the Odd Block Comedy Festival.
That's a fun lineup.
Well, it wasn't. It was. Well, we didn't get to do stand up. Essentially, the local Canadian comics got up, guys, except for Amy was on that one. And man, I'm spacing people's names. I'm very sorry. And it was fun it might have been fun for them, but I didn't get to do stand up, and it was fine. It was supposed to be Joke Machine. They would tell a joke, they would do their set, and then we were supposed to tag it. It was called Punch Up. And we were either supposed to tag it or give them a direction of where they could take that bit, a bit that we were talking about. And we interrupted them, and it was awkward, but I think everybody had a good time and it was fine. My favorite thing that happened though.
Wait, Todd Glass did this?
Yeah. And my favorite thing was Todd Glass.
Oh.
Because the audience was seated, Todd Glass walks in, and he's like, "Oh no." And he looks at the setup of the venue and the stage. And did you know Todd Glass travels with his own gels?
What do you mean?
The things to put over lighting to make things softer.
I love that.
It is the greatest. It's the greatest. And the audience is already seated. There's 40, 50 people in there.
So he's adjusting the lights.
He's adjusting the lights and the
so
sound.
great.
And he's like, the music is a little too loud. And so, and I started addressing the audience.
You want your headliner to be a control freak like that.
I addressed the audience and I was like, you guys are having a rare and beautiful moment here. You've heard on podcasts how Todd Glass will do this, and it's happening right before you. Savor it. And Todd turns to me and he goes, "So hurting my feelings, talking about it like that." And I said, "How about if I say that I know that you're always right?" And he goes, feel better about it. So, but because he is.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
You want that.
You're going to see why I thought of this story in a second.
Okay.
So, I'm worried about my son's academic
career
prowess. Maybe that's
Sure.
not the word. But so there's like this class website, you know, and the teacher had them fill out this thing called where they had to say, I can't blank yet, but then they fill out the step. Then they would write the steps of how they would achieve their goal.
and then okay.
So and she put all of them up. So I'm just clicking through them. It's like a slideshow.
Yeah.
I can't do subtraction, multiplication in my head yet, but and then here's and a lot of the kids were like, I can't do a headstand yet, and then I get to my sons.
Yes.
I can't catch bugs yet. What the fuck? That's his goal? I got angry. I'm like, what do you care about? These other kids.
He's just going for laughs. I don't know where he got that gene.
He didn't even spell catch right. It didn't have the T in it.
Are you reading him Harry Potter yet?
We're still finishing this fucking Percy Jackson.
Okay. But
because he riffs the whole time. He doesn't shut up.
Well, that's because it's not compelling enough.
I remember this because you said Amy McBug.
Amy McBug.
Oh, bugs.
Maybe he's going to be a bug guy. You don't know.
No, I know he's not. I know he's not.
He's not going to be a scientist?
You know my exit plan.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I'm not going to have it because he's going to be living with me for the rest of his life. Because he's not going to get into a college or something. Or he's not going to want to go to college.
Right. Well, what are you going to do?
You know what?
He'll be
At
fine.
least I'm not
He'll
John
be
Hinckley Jr.'s mother.
You don't know that yet. Anyway.
Oh my God. That's my go-to. Is I'm not 95 years old caring for my 63-year-old son who shot the president. He's released into her care and she's elderly.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. No, I don't.
It's okay to not have kids.
It's okay.
You don't know how it's going to turn out.
You don't know. It's you want.
You could be raising a bug catcher.
You could be. You could be raising Brock.
Brock?
The swimmer guy.
That guy. Yeah,
he got out. He's out of the. And I guess.
Yeah.
I saw a thing today where his parents fear for his life because there's anti-rapist protesters in front of his house. There's anti-rapists who are mad at him. It turns out, and so they fear for his safety. And I was like, welcome. To being a woman. A woman. Yes, a girl, a woman walking around all of your life when you fear.
You're leading a woman's life now. Oh, my God.
Welcome to it all, Brock. Okay, so I'm on Snapchat.
Yes.
And I love it. And some people I love following. I love following Nikki Glaser, for example.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser has a new little dog that she's had now.
Yeah.
And she was just talking about how she's like, I might have to go get a service vest for this dog for him to be my service animal. And I say, do it because that dog could not be a bigger service animal, quite honestly. And it's a tiny dog.
Yeah.
You can have it on your lap. I don't want to sit next to you on the plane, but you can totally have it on your lap.
Right.
But she was like, she admitted something on Snapchat that I was like, she said, I'm 5 days. I left my meds in New York. So I'm 5 days off of Zoloft or whatever she's on.
Oh.
And I genuinely wanted to just, because, I knew her when she was like 19.
Yeah.
When she was just a kid on Last Comic Standing.
Right.
She's always been just so smart.
Yeah.
And such a nice woman.
Yeah.
She was a nice kid, nice 19-year-old woman. Yep. And so I genuinely got kind of like, and then I thought, hey, it's Snapchat. Why don't you not give your advice that has been unsolicited? And but I was like, you could go to the CVS here or Walgreens.
Yeah, there's a couple pharmacists in LA that would prescribe to you Zoloft.
Just on or whatever you need, you need. And then she was watching Two Broke Girls, and she was like, I like it, but see that joke? And she was kind of analyzing some of the jokes, and I was like, I don't know, what are you doing? So it was, but it's
Wait, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Talking about it?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought it was fascinating because Snapchat it's a glimpse into somebody's like a comic's life, like Matt Bronger.
Yeah.
You follow him around. You follow me around.
Is it like Periscope?
It's like Periscope in 10-second bursts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Where you're just like you could, instead of tweeting, hey, my mom just asked me about what I'm going for in the cupboard.
Yeah.
You would actually just turn your camera on her and say that again. And then she'd say, I'm just wondering what you're getting out of that cupboard. And then you would post that and you would get 1 million people going, oh my God, it is actually happening. And
Doesn't
so
it disappear after 24
just
hours?
24 hours and it's gone. And which makes
I'm
it
not
even
putting
better.
energy into 24-hour content, dude.
No.
I have 55-year-old jokes I'm still telling. I'm gonna start putting my time into
It is
stuff
so
that disappears.
What I'm saying about like Nikki Glaser and about the Snapchat is how freaking freeing it is that it's going to go away in 24 hours.
Oh,
And people can steal it. I mean, I'm sure that there's an app or something that can record it and then it's there forever. But for the most part, nobody's doing that with me. I'm sure I've got like 9 people. Look, I think I got 100 people watching it, and that's fine. But there's this guy DJ Khaled that my 14-year-old, my 17-year-old nephew was like, "Are you following him? He's got the most followers. He doesn't even have a name. He just has a key." And I was like, "Does he? Does he just have a key?" and he's sort of this. He's a rapper guy, and it's essentially somebody trying to explain to me who Bowie was in 1984. I didn't fucking know who Bowie was,
right?
Because I never know who anybody is. This is not elderliness. This is me never giving a shit. That's what I want listeners to know. Do you know who he is?
David Bowie? Yes.
No, DJ Khaled.
I don't.
Okay, so he is Aristotle. Do you know?
DJ Khaled.
Is it Khaled? It's also Khaled. It's DJ Khaled.
Oh, Khaled. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He accidentally Snapchatted his credit card and lost a lot of money.
He accidentally Snapchatted his own credit card number, and the credit card company was like, "No, you Snapchatted it. We're gonna let that.
really?
You didn't change it fast enough." Yeah,
Wow.
because he's beautifully dressed in almost entirely all white all the time. And he's got these giant chains and a giant Rolex, and it just makes me fear for my nephew. I was like, that's the guy? That's your role model? That guy who's constantly yelling fan love? And it's Khaled? Is that how it is? Khaled. Oh, it's Khaled. You realize that?
But you got the DJ right.
Oh, yeah, I got the DJ. For years, I thought it was Adelaide instead of Adele.
I don't know what to do with you, Jackie.
You don't have to do anything with me. I'm not broken.
I think I
That's
tuned
right.
out of this conversation.
I am not broken. Let me know that. And
Snapchat goes on the list of things that I tune out of very quickly.
all right. Well, let me tell you about the new science fiction. No, I'm not going to tell you about the new science fiction. What else?
What else?
Anything?
I'm dying because I haven't had a set in 6 days.
Yeah, you got to get up. I don't understand why you.
But I'm all loaded up
you up
this
tonight?
next week.
Yeah?
Not tonight. Starting tomorrow night.
Yep.
It's
Start to
slumped
finish?
shoulders from the 9-year-old because I'm going out. Mom's going out.
That's it.
I don't have a single outlet. I've only been talking to those two.
Oh my God. You getting any comedy from that? You getting any
Right now,
material?
I'm just sad.
Or are you living in the moment like some kind of person? What's happening?
I'm sad and my legs hurt.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Do you want to do Comic of the Week?
Yes.
Do it.
Miss Pat.
Ms. Pat. Ms. She's a feminist.
Yes.
MS Pat. And
Yes.
her handle is comedian.
Very funny.
Ms. Pat. Yeah, she's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been
Chicago,
around a
right?
while.
Chicago?
She's from Chicago?
I think originally.
Cool.
Maybe. Or
Yeah.
maybe Chicago land.
Yes.
We don't know. But super funny.
Yeah.
Does the job. Get out there. Find the video.
Yeah.
And
I think she has a podcast too.
bask in it, you guys, because it's pretty fucking. It rolls over you. She's a larger than life personality on stage. You know, we
Yeah.
all have great stage presence.
Is she kind of in our age range?
I don't know.
Maybe we should.
Should we call her?
No. But if she isn't, maybe we shouldn't say that she is.
Right. She doesn't want to be in our age range.
No one does.
I think Ms. Pat is 27 years old, and I think you should get out there and cast
she's
her.
really good. Check her out.
Yeah, she's really good. And I this week I'm going to Seattle and Spokane with Maria. I have like a bunch of Maria gigs coming up.
Sweet.
It
You
is
got
pretty-
the sweet life, Jackie Cation.
It's pretty sweet. And then I did those hours, and then I've been trying to book my own hours so that I can run it
Where you gonna tape it?
at Acme New Year's Eve week. Get this, I'm gonna tape
New Year's Eve week.
Yeah,
Wait, we talked about that.
yeah,
right?
but I'm gonna tape New.
Did
the
you
New
tape
Year's
your
Eve
last one at
shows.
Acme?
All of them. Every single.
You think of changing it up ever?
No. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. Some
Just,
some people do different venues. Carnegie
Yeah.
Hall. Do you think should I just book Carnegie
No.
Hall and do it there?
I mean, like a little place here.
Yeah. Nah. I don't know. What do people here? You know, it's doing it at the clubhouse a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago now. It's it made me aware that people like me here, but I don't know that I could fill, a taping room here. I might, but I do.
You could.
And I work on all that material so much.
You definitely want people who haven't heard the jokes before. That is the key. You want a road gig.
I like to record in a road room for sure.
Right.
And so LA or New York could probably work. Like I could do the Bell, whatever.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of places in New York you can
there's
go.
plenty of places in New York, but I don't know that I could fill those rooms either. But I might be able to fill it for a couple of tapings.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of doing 4 shows recorded Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
At a club. And my home club, here's the thing about Acme. I'm never more comfortable than on stage at Acme Comedy.
That's a good thing. I'm just saying it would look the same, the same backdrop and stuff like. Unless are you going to change the backdrop?
It's not video.
Or doing anything?
I'm not doing video.
Oh,
I'm just doing an
Never
album.
mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was the same.
No, I've only done the one DVD.
Okay.
And it was expensive, and I don't think a CD is almost free.
Yeah.
It's almost.
Oh yeah. Then do it there.
So that's where I just need to get this material out. I'm so mad. I just texted Maria before the show, and I was like, "Hey, give me a writing assignment," because I don't have anything to write about. I got nothing. I was thinking about maybe something about. I was like, sometimes what I do is writing. I'll break my life into 5-year chunks, and I had to go through 0 through 5, 6 through 10 or 11 or whatever. And I was thinking, when I was 12, I went to my first dance, and there's a funny story in there, but I don't know what to do with the fact that the reason I never hit on guys was because when I initially hit on guys, it was I picked the best looking guy. Mm-hmm. Because I was raised to think, well, if you're going to do something, you might as well pick the guy you want to dance with, right? So I was 12, he was 14, he was the quarterback for the JV football team.
JV, come on.
14, though. I was in junior high. He was essentially the hottest guy in the entire junior high.
Aim high, varsity.
Varsity. I didn't know any high school guys. What are you, nuts? It's there were actually high school guys. They were the band. I don't know if you ever, did you guys have...
I went to a girls' Catholic school. We did.
Did you have parties at all, or in junior high or high school?
No, I didn't do anything fun. I was a swimmer.
So you didn't.
I was way too dedicated to my sport.
But there were never any like boys that stand on one side of the room and girls that stand on the other side of the room.
Yeah, when I was
kind
like
of thing?
in middle school.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, junior high school. Yeah, that
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
thing. And it was usually like a band that they picked from high school guys.
Yeah.
They were like, "We have this great band, you guys. We have 4 songs." And then they were the worst, and they were so loud because they were like the amps are important.
All right. But
You got something? You got a comedy
No,
story?
but you were talking about how you were writing, and then you started talking about your dance.
Right, it's all I got. There's nothing there. There might be something there, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to. It's just
Well,
it was funny to me.
Okay, so here's what I've been doing lately is because I'm just writing such short jokes.
Yeah.
It feels like now, like just showing up at a club a little bit earlier and going, all right, this one, what needs a bridge? Sometimes jokes need a bridge.
Yeah.
Or where, why am I leaving this topic so early when there's more here? And then just trying to like
Add to stuff?
just add to stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And things become their own jokes. They don't necessarily
Right.
become tags on existing jokes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
They lead into
And
some
that's
organic.
But you can get a story out of that accidentally, but it comes out of you
That
just
can't
piling
hurt.
jokes on each other and not just going, well, I like guys at a dance. Now I got to make this,
Write a brand new topic. I don't have to go to a new topic. You're saying just look at my existing jokes and
Yeah,
maybe
it's-
try to spread off of that octopus out of
Yes.
that. That's
Yes.
a great writing.
Or-
I'll do that. I
Yeah,
will
or
piss
just
on a
go-
spark plug at this point.
you have,
I
like-
got nothing.
If you have 10 jokes, there's got to be a couple that are a little bit lumpy. And why are they lumpy? And
What do you mean by lumpy?
for me,
Yeah.
I'm remembering it the first time it killed and then ignoring the fact that it's not doing as well ever since,
Okay.
but it's sandwiched between some other stuff.
Okay, so
know,
you're
and-
not feeling it? You don't feel it as hard?
No,
'cause
I like
works?
it, but I'm like, I guess.
Are you feeling the lumps? Where are you feeling the lumps?
Let me finish. I'm sorry. This is exactly how I live all day in my house with my mom. It's nonstop interruptions. I was going to the bathroom. The two of them move as a unit, following me around to interrupt me and disturb me. And I was in the bathroom and they both burst in with different questions and needs. And I'm like, can I fucking piss by myself?
You're on the toilet.
Yes.
That is 1,000 times not okay.
So just
I'm
try to
sorry.
like sneak, just, I don't know. I just try to look at stuff that, where I'm like, where am I working really hard? Like sometimes I notice something on stage and then I forget it as soon as I get off stage. I notice like, oh, this isn't working like I thought it was. And then I forget as soon as I get off stage because whatever. It's not like you have a joke
Yeah.
idea. You just know something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then the next time you're on stage, you're like, oh, this fucking thing again. I
Yes.
forgot to address it. You know, so
Okay.
it is helpful to just go, are there any points where I remember the last time on stage telling this joke where it felt I wasn't getting what I wanted, and
Yeah,
am I
I
just
haven't-
getting good at powering through it? Am I
Yeah.
getting good at having energy at this point instead of going, let me fix this so it's a really good joke where I don't have to add bells and whistles to it? You know,
I hate that you've said this because I can feel that's true. There's at least 2 or 3 jokes that don't end strong enough, and every time I end those jokes, I'm like, well, you better say it louder because this doesn't have a big enough punchline.
Right.
You better bring up your energy to make that punchline work, and it's exhausting and
Yeah.
it's irritating because I feel I know what you're saying. So I have a dozen sets, maybe more. I've listened to 4 of them, and
it's
I just
so fucking hard to listen to.
it's so hard to listen to fucking sets, and I want to. And I'm gonna commit to it. There's like my weird bow and arrow joke doesn't end strong enough because it turns into something that doesn't end. So I should just write on the end of that and figure out where the hell it goes. I did fix a joke. I fixed my fucking time travel joke, which is crazy. I actually figured out what to do with it, and it's got its own two-liner, like a funny setup, funny punchline at the very end of it. So I could tighten that whole thing up. So yeah, it's weird.
It's hot in the studio, isn't
It
it?
just got super hot in here, didn't it, Aristotle?
Yeah.
Boo. Whatever.
Do we have any more water?
We don't have any more water. Well, where are we at, Aristotle? 41.
Oh my
God damn it.
No.
What else you got? What do you think
Wait,
about the
19
Three Stooges?
more minutes
What do you
and
think
no
about the
water?
Three Stooges? It's you want to talk about
can't
old
do
timey
it.
comedy?
No.
Do you want to talk without me while I go get water? Oh, Aristotle's going to go get some waters. Yeah, very quietly. I say make noise. I say do whatever you need to do, Aristotle, to get us some water.
What's fun to talk about?
What is fun to talk about? How about what's your favorite club that you've ever worked at? Do you have that?
Didn't you ask me that before?
No. Or pick a different one. How about that? It's what's a really fun club and what makes it fun, or any of that.
Yeah.
Like a full week. Do you like a
don't wanna
Tuesday?
talk about
Do you like
that.
Tuesday through Saturday? Do you like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Like if you didn't have a kid and you were in that happy space where you just gotten that job where you felt confidence.
Thursday through Saturday.
You like a Thursday
through Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No, I kind of like a Sunday after two shows on a Saturday where the pressure's off.
Yeah, it's casual day. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can
I kinda
do a
like-
Tuesday like that,
Yeah.
but a Sunday after is better. Mm-hmm. It's just mellow. You don't care.
You know what I hate? It's sometimes, just in general, when people are like, well, tell me what it's like to be a woman. Tell me what it's like to be a You're like, I don't know. I don't care.
Have you
So
thought about
sorry.
it much?
Look at all that water.
Look at all that water. We're going to
my
have to pee
God.
after this. So, yeah, what's it like being a woman comic, Lori? Could you tell us? Tell me what it's like being a woman comedian. What's it like being a
when
comedian?
you go on podcasts, that's like the first 5 questions. A lot of them are like, tell me something that you've already told 400 times.
What was it? How did you get into
But say it on
comedy?
this podcast instead.
Exactly. How did you get into comedy? What was your first stand-up? I have told that story so many times.
Mm-hmm.
One time I got asked a bunch of the same questions for a print thing, and
Yeah.
I was sent them. I literally cut and pasted them from other things that have been printed and just sent them without changing the background color or anything. I was like, why don't you read some of my other interviews and not ask me the same damn question? That'd be great.
Let's talk about the future.
Ooh, the future.
What do you, I
ever think
want to
about the
do?
future?
What do you want to do? I want to do Edinburgh again.
I've never done it. I've always wanted to do Edinburgh, but it always costs $5,000.
I want to save up. I want to do it.
All right.
I don't
Do
know
it.
how to do it. It's got to be a different time in my life because I'd have to have a month off.
Do you want to do a live Jackie and Laurie?
No, never.
Not ever.
I don't like how people change for an audience, in a podcast. All of a sudden, because you will turn into comic,
Yeah. What are you
You know
here?
what? Fucking come see my act if you want a comedy. All right, that's not what you're here for. You're here for abrasive Lori, hated by Abigail.
For Abigail hating Laurie.
Yeah,
Laurie Kilmartin bringing you. So you don't ever want to do a live one
don't
of
think
this?
so.
All right.
who knows? If
Because
there's-
people keep saying that they'll
there's
pay
money
us.
in it.
They'll pay us.
if
They'll
they
fly us
will.
places, and
Really?
then they'll put us up.
Maybe.
Right. Exactly. And then we'll get to do stand up around it.
I want to do Edinburgh again.
Yep.
One day.
What do you want to do at Edinburgh? Do you want to write a new hour for
Yeah.
it?
No, not for it. Just to have whenever. I mean, I'm talking like in 5 or 10 years.
Oh wow! This is in your 5-year plan.
Yes, I have a long plan. That's what I'm trying. I want to be healthy. I want to keep doing stand up till I'm like 80 or 85 and just keep showing up. I want to do an hour when I'm 80 in Edinburgh.
We are so different. I am not thinking about anything about when I can get out of this damn room, and then I'm hoping to do a set tomorrow. That's it. That's as far into the future I think.
Really?
It's weird. I never think about what I want to, because people, in LA, they're always like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to act? Do you want to produce? Do you want to write? What do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you got? I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And that's not the answer they're looking for.
I know.
Yeah. Somebody told me yesterday that, Melinda Hill. I told her, she said, have you ever had any ideas for like
She's
a movie?
so funny, man.
Yeah, Melinda Hill, very funny. Get
Yeah.
out there, you guys. Check it out. And she was telling me that she pitches a lot. And I was like, I pitched one thing. How do you get into pitches? And nobody, like my manager never sent me out to pitch anything.
Really?
And I don't know.
Well, did you have stuff though?
Well, I pitched something when I was in New York. I pitched all of the ideas I could think of, and I would write more ideas if I was going into a pitch meeting.
Yeah.
I would look at what, like,
But wait, how did you? Because when
Yeah.
you did a Conan packet, right?
no? Oh,
Didn't you do a Conan packet?
yeah, but,
But you did it really quick, right?
right.
Like how? And how long?
I wrote, well, Brian
Yeah.
said, why don't you write desk pieces for Conan?
Right.
And so I went and I'd spent an hour watching previous desk pieces of
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah.
And then anybody else from late night that I could see. And
Yeah.
then I wrote, it took me about 2 hours.
It has to take.
It's not done that way. That's not how
right,
it's
right.
done.
So is that how you were? Like, it's got to take at least a week.
To write pitches.
I think because you got to write. I mean, I haven't
Just
written
hundreds and hundreds of stuff and then just whittle it.
as much as you can,
As much
and
as
then
you can,
whittle it
and then
down.
whittle it
I don't
down.
think hundreds and hundreds, but
Right, but
yeah.
whatever, as many as you can.
And not just us, same with monologue jokes. But whatever you're doing, you gotta spend a ton of time writing, and then whittling it down.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do in 2 hours.
Okay.
To get, in my opinion, to get a job, right?
Yeah.
So
But just think how great I'd be if I could just knock that out in 2 hours.
But is that how you were approaching pitching? Like, oh, I have a meeting in 4 hours, so let me come up with a show?
Yeah, remember that woman, Diane Ford, asked me to write for her, and I put it on green
Yeah.
marker on a napkin?
Yeah.
That's how I plan shit. That is sadly how I plan shit. It isn't. Okay.
But could you come up with a show idea, flesh it out?
Yep. I did
so
do
it's-
that.
and then go, hey, I want to call someone. Hey, I want to pitch this, because then your pitch can get better and better with each pitch, and you can practice it, and you know your show inside and out, as opposed to, oh, you're going to be in New York, you got to pitch something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that happens to a lot to comics, is like, all right, you just did Just for Laughs, and now you're going to be in LA for a week. Pitch shit, and you don't know what we lost audio.
I think it's this thing.
Okay.
Anyway.
But you don't know, You're like, what do I pitch? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know. And it's that's kind of the opposite way to do it if you want to have success.
Right. It seems like a very unsuccessful way to
Yeah.
pitch if I were to ever want to do such a thing. So, yeah, like remember that woman a couple of years ago asked me to come up with a sitcom idea of me and Andy as a sitcom.
Yes.
And so I did. And then I wrote a treatment. I wrote a bunch of stuff. And then I brought it to everyone I know who has ever worked on a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, several people that I know who'd worked on a sitcom. I brought it to Karen Kilgariff.
Yeah.
And she gave me notes on it. And I brought it to Laura House. She gave me notes on it. And then I rewrote it. And then I brought it back, I think, to a couple other people who had worked on sitcoms. And I got more notes. And then I submitted it. And then I was given some notes on that. And I resubmitted it. And then it was too late, I guess.
Yeah.
Because television's been canceled. There's no more sitcoms.
I can't do it anymore.
And so... But so that was more of the process that you're talking about. You're talking about
Yeah.
actually just writing
Yeah.
reams of whatever and then whittling it down and then giving it to somebody.
Yeah,
to
and
get
making
feedback.
it bulletproof. You know,
Yeah.
making it so they're gonna people go, well, what if this happens, and what about that? And you're like, oh yeah, well, I have an answer to that. You know,
Yeah.
and I know either I know the structure so well, or I've anticipated all these problems. I've anticipated how much this could cost. How we're going to shoot it so it's cheap, and all that kind of
Okay.
stuff. The more.
The more you know. Like going in with the more you know is gonna
Yeah.
It's easier. Make it easier for them to say yes, is what you're saying.
I mean,
And-
I've never sold anything. I was just asking based on.
Yeah, no,
The Conan thing.
these people who I did not even know, they have they do web series and they're based on the reality TV people, and so they were like, well, what do you have? And I was like, well, it's many years ago, I thought about doing a live action real time Dork Forest, video, like a TV show.
Oh, cool.
And so I shot an intro video for that. And then I wrote up some stuff, and so I told them about that. They were kind of interested in that. And I followed up, and they were no longer interested. But then I also pitched like a movie idea that I've had in my mind for 30 years, but the other person always changes. Currently, it is Wanda Sykes in my head, and then that's why Melinda was like, "Well, you know Wanda Sykes," and I was like, no, I don't know Wanda Sykes, but I know people who know Wanda
Yeah,
Sykes.
you're one person away
Right.
from Wanda.
I could probably, and she said, well, you could pitch to someone who knows Wanda Sykes. And I said, okay, how do I do that? And she was like, you email them and say, I have an idea. And then they say, come on over. And they give you a bottle of water, and then you tell them your idea. And then they are like, what else you got? And so I don't have anything else for Wanda Sykes or for whoever. But those are the two kind of things I had. And then I had, it isn't enough, right, is what you're saying. Don't just go in with a green marker on a napkin.
Right. Well, you know that.
I do. Yes, I have learned since then.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of pitching stuff, and I like listening to that Norman Lear thing. I'm like, oh, he comes up with TV shows.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know who's? I think did I mention her earlier? Christella.
Yeah.
I mean, her story is so cool.
Right,
You know, she did a set on Conan,
Right.
And it was like it was a great set, and it kind of talked about her life. And somebody thought, I'm probably missing 4,000 details,
Right.
But they liked it.
The general idea.
They said let's do a pilot, and she got. So I think she got kind of far, like she may have sold it, and then they decided not to shoot it, and she took the money that she got from writing it and she shot it herself, and then they put it on the air.
Okay.
And it lasted for a season. I mean,
Okay.
I think getting something on the air is like a miracle, and then
Right.
having it stay on the air is completely
It's
different
another
nightmare.
stratosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Darlene Westgore, who did The Funniest Mom in America, I think,
Yeah.
on VH1.
Yeah.
VH1?
No,
Nick at Night.
Nick at Night, yeah.
Nick Moms or whatever.
Yeah.
And she got a deal from that by winning. It was the first season, so what she got from it was an actual pilot. And they shot it. And
Carol
they-
Leifer wrote it, I think.
And it didn't get picked up, but
Yeah.
it was a fascinating watching her go through that
yeah.
that process was fascinating.
Yeah.
And watching Maria do Lady Dynamite
Yeah.
was fascinating.
Right.
And my favorite, and I probably told you the story before, is that every time she'd go for a meeting with Netflix, I'd say, how did it go? And she goes, I got a free salad. Another free salad out of it. We don't know what's going to happen. But I got a free Caesar.
How many writers on that show?
I don't know. That's probably something that people would know.
did she do writing herself, or was she sort of?
She was in the
brought
writer's room
after
for a while.
They had the bones of the scripts.
Well, I think she was in the writing room for a while, and then later less involved.
Yeah.
In the writer's part of it, and so I don't. I'm sure I'm missing 4 million details as well, but they're doing 8 more or some more, and so there'll be a second season on Netflix, which is great. And so that's its own triumph, right?
Yeah, totally.
Is like you selling your show to the streaming people.
Yeah.
That's its own triumph.
Right.
And even before that, I mean, every step is, I think, a win, right? The
Yeah.
fact that you shot it.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that I shot mine is, I consider it. I got DVDs, you guys. And it's available streaming, but just on my site, right?
Yeah.
And it's fine. But I went up on that. I sounded a little whiny when I said it's fine.
No.
But it genuinely is fine because the work is all that matters.
Yeah.
And they don't get to tell me what jokes to write.
Right.
And if they don't buy the jokes once they're done, some people still like them.
Yeah.
So fuck them. They don't have to buy the jokes. They can go buy something else.
Yeah.
What do you think of that rant? What do you think of that?
I like
pissant?
it. I'm inspired. You're my Tony Robbins.
It's an answer, not the answer. So I don't know if I've got anything else.
You know what I'd like? I'd like the special to do well, my special to do well. And I'd like to be able to fly places on Saturdays and do a set and then fly back on Sunday and come back,
Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah.
has his own jet, and Tom Papa.
I don't
would
need my
open
own
for
jet.
him.
I don't need that.
Right.
Just, yeah.
It'd be really convenient, though.
It would be cool.
Well, I think that fans of Jackie and Laurie show can make that happen. I understand we got some pretty good numbers for Nerdist.
Really?
I don't know. I've just made that up, and we'll never know. I don't know. You got to ask Hardwick. It's he just got back from his honeymoon. Did you follow him on Instagram?
I don't.
Oh my God, it was gorgeous.
Should we be talking about
Chris Hardwick's honeymoon?
Yeah, I don't
know.
know.
It's on Instagram. It's public.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anybody's.
All right.
I'm not breaking the seal on anything here. It's not Snapchat. It doesn't go away. So, yeah.
How much time? Hold on.
50. That's pretty close. That's pretty. I know that Christina Walken show is still walking, but so let's.
Well,
what advice would you give young comics?
oh, fuck you. Oh, man.
I want us to end
Nothing
on every
reminds me
shitty.
more that I'm not young than when someone asks me to give advice to young comics. I was young once too, okay? And you're going to get old too, so shut the fuck up.
Oh my God, that question makes my hip hurt. What do you love most about stand-up comedy?
Stop it. Can we just have silence? Why is this my apartment all of a sudden? Why is this my house? Constant words.
No way your mother's asking you the good questions, the deep, deep questions about stand-up.
I want my new jokes to work. That's all I want.
I want new jokes. So you at least have new fucking jokes.
You will.
Yeah, and your new jokes will work. There you go. Right? Glass half full over here, Cation. I'm going to have another water. Boring. Glass half full, boring. No. That's why the Abigails of the world love me.
Oh.
That's why. Glass half full, Cation. Wow. Yeah, that's right.
What an asshole.
Soak it up.
I never want to do 2 of these in a row again, but we should. Now,
you were the one who said we needed to do 4 one day.
What? When did I say that?
I don't know, but it was burned into my cerebellum, and I'm like, no fucking way am I doing 4 in a row.
Way.
But
then I wouldn't have to see you for a month.
A pile of jelly. It's. I invited you to a social event today.
You did. How dare you?
How dare you? We could have spent some time.
I'm a person that needs solitude. I think I'm allergic to people.
You're not getting any.
I'm not getting it. I'm going crazy.
Which is what I think. In lieu of you ever getting any solitude in your own home,
right?
Is you need to go out and meet other comics and just have breakfast.
More people.
Well, they're comics, It's just like sit around and just shoot the shit about comedy and that
Yeah.
will revitalize you
Maybe.
to stare at the people who will not go away from your home. So I say in lieu of, I do think you need some alone time, but I don't think you're getting it. So
All right, this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm
what are you doing?
I'm at Cinderblock. I'm in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
And I'm doing 3 sets at the Cinderblock Comedy Festival. Check out
So
their
are you gonna
website.
You going to fly there on Friday
Yeah.
and stay through Sunday?
Yeah.
Again? And are you going to do sets at the stand and stuff?
No,
too,
I'm
or-
just gonna stay in Brooklyn that one night. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to put you up?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
that's-
I mean, comedically, I'll
Comedically,
stay
you're
in
gonna
Brooklyn.
stay in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Because they're bringing me out, so
Yeah.
I didn't want to try to do other spots too. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
And-
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah.
So this is the one that comes out September 12th.
Yes.
So
it is.
it'll be that weekend.
We'll have finished celebrating September 11th.
celebrating. That's it.
Isn't that what the Armenians did? I thought Trump
You're
said
mixing
that.
no, you're mixing me up with the Saudis. You know. Didn't he rent like the 44th floor? To
He
the
did. I
Saudis or
tweeted that to
something?
somebody today.
It was
The 45th floor, he sold the entire 45th floor to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, June 2001. You tell me, if Hillary had done that 3 months before 9/11, we wouldn't be hearing that all the time and saying somehow she was helping them spy on the World Trade Center.
right from Columbus Circle. they like binoculars. And isn't that where Trump Tower is? In
Yeah.
Columbus Circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Everybody go see Pat. Go see Miss Pat.
Go see Miss Pat. Check her out.
And go see live comedy because it's the best.
Yeah,
And,
man.
yeah. And
Fucking
fun.
buy a ticket, you fucking cheapskates. Show up. Stop getting everything for free. God damn it, I'm fucking sick of you people.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.